Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to the brave never fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the brave and bold tribe growing one purposeful soul at a time. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? Confidence in yourself is gained by trusting, knowing, and loving who you truly are. You can't hide from yourself. You can't run from yourself. You can't be someone else. You can't be something else. You can't be somewhere else because that's just what you want. What we need in our lives is complete clarity and understanding of who we are. To have confidence that our lives are not some sort of blob just drifting in the wind, that we have a true meaning in life and not just some substantial meaning that people tell you in passing that you're going to be someone, you've accomplished so much, you're on the right track. But that all sounds great. It really does. But we've said this plenty of times in life. to ourselves and where has it gotten us. It's just not enough. Motivation is just not enough. You have to believe in you. And if you don't believe in you, you're going to get a surge of a lack of confidence, and it's going to affect the emotions. Our emotions play such a big part in the overall construct of confidence, because confidence is just such a big thing in our lives that maybe for a lot of us, we just don't look at it deeply enough, that a lot of the root causes of the disappointments and failures and mistakes we make in life comes from a lack of confidence. And therefore, the lack of confidence branches out into a very emotional state. And sometimes that emotional state is the unraveling of our lives. It's the unraveling of our true purpose and who we really are. We can get lost in that unraveling. We can trip up and we can fall and not get back up. Which is why our exploration of ourselves is so important. We have to find that confidence. It's so essential to our lives. It doesn't come easily, and it is tested daily by every person, place, or thing you encounter every day of your life. Confidence, whether you have it in abundance or not at all, is a major, crucial, life-changing aspect of all our lives. Confidence can take us for an incredible ride, ups and downs by the hour. Where we are confident in one place, we have no confidence in a particular person. We feel confident when we have that one thing that makes us smile, yet our confidence flees when we enter a particular place, and so on and so on. It's a confidence coaster, a real-time theme park ride that we can never escape, just adapt to. If we accept the ride, learn every twist and turn, dip, hill, or even when we're upside down, we can adapt and become confident that we can take on the ride. Then the ride stops, and we're forced to get on another ride. Time to adapt once more. That cycle, whether we can adapt quickly and sustain it or not, has a deep emotional effect. It rises to the surface all that we fear, love, and are grateful for, yet at the same time causes us anxiety, stress, and caution. Being unsure of something, someone, or someplace is more than enough to cause hesitation in all our thoughts, causes us emotionally to react in ways we know are not beneficial to our peace, joy, happiness, fulfillment, and purpose. Our self-love wanes, and if we're not careful, we could become a shell of ourselves. However, that is not us. We adapt because we love ourselves too much not to. We are brave because we know anxiety does not rule our lives. We are grateful because our stories are not over. Each second is a new beginning. Get back on the confidence coaster, adapt, and be grateful for each breath you take in your life. Enterprise of Emotions, Strength, and Happiness, Episode 7, Confidence and Emotions. Life can be a huge distraction. It can challenge us every single day. Punches in the gut, have us worrying about all sorts of things that we don't even know are going to come to pass. Our anxiety just gets a hold of us, and we are just in this roller coaster of life, and it affects our confidence. It affects our confidence. It affects the confidence levels we should have about things that we know we normally are confident about. And that's one of the hardest things about confidence, and something I personally dealt with growing up, and even in my early adulthood years, and periodically, weekly, daily, because we're human beings. We're not confident about everything in life, and the people who say that they're full of shit. there's doubt that creeps in everyone's mind. Now, there are people who can sustain their level of confidence where when that doubt creeps in, they can overcome it. They can detach from it and overcome it quickly. I've learned to do that. When I start feeling like I'm not confident at something, I know that the first thing I need to do is start asking myself why that is, especially if it's something that I know I need to be confident about. Something that I know that is a major part of my life, something that is tethered to my purpose. How can you find peace and joy in life if you're constantly feeling like the next thing that happens to you at any moment could be the one thing that changes your life forever? That will seep and dig right into your emotions. Confidence is one of those things I felt like had me in one of my biggest beta male spells I've ever had in my entire life. It causes you to believe you're something you're not. It causes you to think you have all the answers, but you haven't asked all the questions. So how could you have the answers to questions that you don't even have an existence in your mind? And I used to do that. You know, you ever see a beta male who thinks he's an alpha male? They've convinced themselves basically with answers without asking the questions that they are something. You see people like this in any walk of life. You see people in every single walk of life you can think of. These people are something that they truly believe they are. But on the external, we're looking at them, not that we're judging them, but we can see a lot of times, most of the time, if their actions aren't lining up with their values and who they are, then something's missing there. And I can raise my hand and say that was me. I thought I was one way, and I was displaying actions and really falling deeper and deeper into a negative emotional state, all the while believing I was perfectly fine, if not thriving. How scary is that? But that's the kind of thing that I feel like every individual in life has to have to kind of put your life in perspective, and you can get into your own story and not worry so much about what other people are telling you, because you can ask yourself the questions and you can answer them yourself. And maybe you can talk to other people and kind of get their take on certain things. But when surface level things are one thing, when we can look at a person and judge them and say this person is not aligned with who they are, and it happens a lot in life. Even the most motivational people out there that you talk to, they believe they know you. And you know, even me as a life coach, my job is to ask the right questions and for you to figure them out on your own. I'm not a counselor or a therapist. The job of a life coach is to ask the questions that you're not asking yourself, and maybe lead you and point you and say, hey, look at this direction. Have you thought about going this way? But that's what's so great about being a life coach, is that it's all stuff we practice on our own every single day. As a life coach, I have to be a person who teaches myself how to grow every day as well. And one of the tools that I use is by asking a lot of questions and giving myself the time to answer each one of those questions out in full and truthfully. Because falling into a deep emotional state due to a lack of confidence is a huge rabbit hole. It is something that is very hard to dig out of. I know this because it took me forever. And the scariest part about that lack of confidence, especially if you feel you are confident in certain areas, is when you find out in a particular situation or someone, you have a situation where you're talking to someone and the truth comes out and it hits you and you realize instantly this person's right. And it's emotional. It's time to get emotional at that point because you believe you're a certain way and you're not. When somebody says, hey, you look fat and you thought you were looking good. That sucks. When you think you know something and someone's like, hey, you don't really know much about this as you thought you did you? That sucks. When you're in a relationship with someone and all of a sudden they find out something about you that you didn't even know about yourself, and you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I need to own up to this. It's the owning up part that helps build that confidence. Because if you can start doing that kind of work on yourself, where you don't have these moments when you're embarrassed out of your mind because somebody reveals something about you in real time and you have no clue that was going on the whole time, you have to be honest with yourself. The problem is that you were not being honest with yourself about who you are. And that was a lack of acknowledgement and awareness of who you really are. Focusing on everything that's good in your life is great. I believe focusing on everything that's not so great in your life is greater. It's easy to get up and do the things you know you're good at. It's easy to get up and say the stuff that you know you already know. It's much harder to get up and learn something new. It's much harder to get up and push yourself to do an activity you've never done before. It's much harder to get up and continue to stay on the goal that you set out for yourself. It's much harder to admit when you're wrong to a significant other. It's much harder to not rely on other people, places, and things for your happiness. It's much harder to create it for yourself. And that causes people to say, that's too much. I'd rather be comfortable. And I'd rather surround myself with people who are going to tell me I'm great. I'd rather be around people that I compete with or I work with that are not as good as me. I always want to be number one because I'm the boss. I'm the best. The problem is you're surrounding yourself around mediocre, average people. And there's nothing wrong with being mediocre or average. Every person in this world, despite what we put these little labels on people that this person's mediocre or average, this person's great, this person sucks. We're not focused on other people. You need to be focused on yourself. You are never going to be the best at anything in life. There's always somebody out there that's going to be better than you. You may never meet this person, but there's someone out there much better than what you do. And the reality of that is sometimes, especially when we get into this disillusionment that we're the best and that we know everything and that we have nothing left to accomplish and we can just thrive in what we have, it has a time limit on it. And that time limit says you've reached where you wanted to go, but is there anything else? So that timeline, that time limit that you have for that goal that you hit, there's another timeline that starts after that. You don't get to a point and just say, I'm done. There is no end. So in confidence, in building it, there is no end with that. You're going to be tested every day with confidence. The older we get, every single day, our bodies are changing, our minds are changing, our emotions are changing, our souls are changing. We are changing constantly. There's no way you can just stay in the same state of mind for your entire life. It's called adaptation. How do we get there? We get there with awareness of who we are, why we are. We can get up every day and attack the day. This is how you get into a good flow. One of the things that I used to do that, looking back on it, and I thought this was fine. I used to think, okay, I'll get up, eat me something. I'll just kind of go through the day. I'm doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing when I needed to do it. And it was kind of, looking back on it, my life was like a blur. I felt like I was just moving in slow motion all the time. And looking back on some of the things I used to do, yes, I did the things I needed to do. I showed up to work on time. I worked hard. I tried to be the best father I could be, tried to be the best husband I could be. I failed in every single area you can think of, in every area of life I've failed at some point. And looking back on it is because I was just going through the motions. I was never pushing beyond who I actually was. And unfortunately, even at the time, I thought I was standing on a good foundation. And come to find out, I wasn't standing on a good foundation. I was standing on a big pile of shit that I created for myself, and I was just pulling other people in with me. And looking back on it, it's one of those things where it could have been easily avoided if I had just been honest with myself. If I had been honest with other people. If I had been not so content with the lifestyle that I had and listened to myself and trusted myself that I know I should have been in a different direction. Fortunately for me, I did wake up. And it was a sudden, rapid change. A lot of people had to adjust to it. And I'm still on that awakening journey right now. Every day is a new opportunity to learn something new about yourself. And if you can learn something new about yourself every single day, that will help you adapt to any situation, which will help you with your confidence, which will help you keep your emotions in check. There's nothing wrong with being emotional. It's healthy. Overly emotional to the point where you can't function, that's not healthy. Something is there, something that needs to be discovered, something that needs to be unearthed within you. Time to do some digging. You have to start drilling into yourself and figure out what is the issue. Confidence doesn't come from just overcoming something once and saying you got it. Confidence comes with knowing you can overcome anything more than once, no matter how hard it is. And if you can attach some type of pride and gratefulness with that, that is also another good avenue to go down when dealing with confidence. Because if you can look at things and not take them personally, when things happen to you and you start saying to yourself, I can't believe this is happening to me, you can also say, listen, why is this happening to me? Because there are no coincidences in life. This is supposed to be happening to me. So why is it happening? What can I learn from this? It sucks to have to go through that in your mind. It doesn't make the anxiety go away any quicker, but you are actively doing something that will prepare you for the next time this particular event happens. This particular situation, this particular person. It's not some form of defense, it's actually a form of offense. You're not allowing life to just come into your life and you're adapting and reacting to everything. You want to be in flow with life. You imagine watching basketball players play a basketball game. They're going up and down the court. They're passing the ball, but you never look at the ball. You're looking somewhere else and the ball hits you in the head. And they're like, what are you doing? The other team takes the ball, score a point. Come back down the court again. Somebody misses a shot. You have a chance to grab the ball and put the ball back up in the hoop and a rebound. You just stand there and the ball just bounces off the top of your head. Team grabs the ball, makes a shot. Your teammates are like, what are you doing? In your mind, you're like, hey, what would you do without me? There's 5 of us on the court. If I leave, then you guys are on demand. But you're standing out there not doing anything. In a certain sense, you're getting in your own way. All you have to do is look at the ball. That's all you have to do. Life can be so simple that way. Look at where the action is. And don't wait. Be active. Get after it. Expect things to happen. Be prepared. Be aware situationally of everything that's going on around you. You are in the game. And you're not in the game alone. Unfortunately, there are things going on around you. You have people around you. You have people that are your teammates and you have people that are against you. You are in a place that may be huge you don't understand. You have this thing that you look around and say, oh, these people on this team is better than me. So what? There's somebody out there who is the best amongst all those people, regardless of who's mediocre or average or not. Look at that person and learn from them. What are they doing? What is making them the best in the game? How come they're not getting hit in the head with the ball? How come they're not allowing the other team to score on them? How come when the ball is missed on the hoop, they are already in the air before the ball barely even gets off the rim because they are anticipating there may be a rebound? They're not waiting. They're going after it. That gives you confidence. A person who does that is a confident person. They're not waiting. They're not hoping. They know. If I'm not the best, I'm one of them. I'm not going to get upset because I miss a shot. I'm not going to get upset because I turn the ball over and the team scores on me. I'm not going to get upset that my teammate is looking the other direction and I pass the ball and they hit them in the back of the damn head. Why? Because I'm doing all that I can do actively and I don't have to apologize for that. I'm going after it. And I'm learning every single time we go up and down this court in this game. And life is a lot like that. Each day is a new game with new players, maybe a new court, different type of basketball. Who knows? Maybe you're outside this time. You're not in an arena. You're not in a gym. Life is different with the same set of rules every day. We have to adapt to them. The rules of yesterday are gone. Today, there are new rules for yourself. They're very similar, but there's going to be situations and things that pop up that are going to look like anomalies. If you were in a computer and you're working on a computer and something pops up, it's like, wow, that hasn't happened before. What do? Throw your whole computer in the trash? No, you figure out what the anomaly is and you fix it and you understand why it happened. And if you don't like it, make sure it never happens again. Or if you do like it, figure out, oh, well, okay, I might want to keep that. But what happened there? You acknowledge the anomaly. You adapted to the new set of rules that were established in that moment. It was unpredictable. You didn't know what to expect, and you had to deal with it. It maybe even made you feel a certain type of way. But you have to deal with them. We can't run from these things. A lack of self-confidence will cause you to run. It'll cause you to go in the other direction. It'll cause you to literally offend yourself. You become your own worst enemy. Because whenever you do that, you know that you're heading in the wrong direction. And that's not a good feeling. That's when you start getting a real sense of a lack of self-respect for yourself and self-control and self-discipline. And you get down on yourself and you get into a depression, and it fuels anxiety. Fuels it. Because you know what that feels like and you don't want that to happen again. Which is why running is never an option when you're feeling like you're overwhelmed. When you don't feel confident. When you don't feel confident, that's the best time to move forward. Man, if I had known that when I was younger, early on in my marriage, if I had known that I was so full of a lack of confidence and that I was running, without even knowing it, I was running. If I had known just to turn around and face confidence, with confidence and face the issue, I would be in a much better spot. But I didn't. I chose to run. And whenever you choose to run, you choose the path of least resistance. And sometimes that path is least resistance for a reason, because there's nothing there. You're running towards things that are gone, things that no longer are important in your life. You're running back to places that are no longer significant in your life, to people that shouldn't be in your life. You run towards things that are in the past. You have to turn around and run forward. Standing still is not an option either. You can't just stay still and emotionally have a meltdown. Now, as human beings, we all get to a place where we have meltdowns. We have outbursts, we get upset, we get angry, we get a rage, loathing for ourselves. We get all sorts of things like that. That is part of the human experience. But if we can frame everything in a learning experience, a chance to level up, a chance to say, okay, I'm going to smile through this. Why not just smile? Why not just smile at this situation? This situation is fucked up. No doubt about it. What can I do to make it better? What can I do to make sure that I learn from this? Not just curl up in the corner in the fetal position and hope and pray that it never happens again. What are you learning from that? What are you learning from not acknowledging what is happening around you? And how do you expect to grow any self-confidence in yourself if you're not asking yourself the questions of how can I grow, level up, and learn from this situation, from this thing, this place, this person? Because odds are these same situations are going to pop back up, and I want to be prepared for them. I want to be confident. I want the people around me to know that I'm confident. They can trust me. They can know, they will understand that even though I may be afraid, I may be full of anxiety, I may feel like I have failed before I even started, I'm stepping forward any damn way. That is powerful. That is impactful. That shows them, you know what? This person, even though they may not be where they want to be, they're giving it a solid, strong, courageous, brave, and bold effort to move forward when normally they would turn around and run. And once that happens, the light switch comes on, and all of a sudden things look differently. The road ahead doesn't seem so dark. It doesn't seem like you're so alone. It doesn't seem like it's going on forever, which it does go on forever. But guess what you get to see? Flags of hope. You get to see, okay, I have guide markers now. It's okay to hope. Hope only takes you to the next marker. You have to do the work in between that hope. It's okay to manifest, but when you get what you manifest, what are you going to do with it? Is it all about you, or is it about other people who are around you as well? Very easy to live in this life and only worry about ourselves. It's very easy to think it's all about me. I'm emotional and I don't have any confidence because everybody's shitting all over me. That is incorrect. You are shitting all over yourself. You have no one to blame. You have no one to accuse. Your emotional state and your confidence is strictly your burden to bear. It's unfair. It is truly unfair. Life, people, places, and things do things in our lives that causes us deep emotional wounds, but it is our emotional burden alone to get ourselves out of it. If you want to be emotionally stable, you have to do it. The wounds are there. You can't take them back. The words have been said. The places are gone. The things have perished. You have to bring yourself out of the depths of whatever misery you find yourself in. Exploring yourself and being honest and true about who you are would do that. You got to gain some confidence. You got to get going, baby. You have to start moving forward and start achieving small victories and start building them. Once you get one victory, you don't stop and say, let's celebrate. There's no time for celebrations. Keep going. You haven't achieved anything yet. Time to celebrate is when you have pushed past the threshold of where you really honestly thought you would never be. When you do something so monumental in your life that is life-changing and you will never forget it because you are a different person, that's the time to celebrate. The time to celebrate is not when you're supposed to be not doing things that you know you should be doing every single day. Getting a small victory doesn't mean you have a party later on that afternoon. Getting a small victory just means I'm building towards the ultimate celebration, which is the goal that I never even knew was honestly in my life. When you overcome something and you feel something out of life that you never even expected, that's the time to celebrate. How do you get to that place? You have to believe and trust in yourself. You have to sometimes actively put yourselves in situations that will help you grow. Standing in stasis, hoping things happen, is just not enough to grow. You have to grow. To each his own. Whoever is out there listening to this, if your life says you are content and you're comfortable and you're happy with where you are, so be it. It's nobody's right to tell you otherwise. But if you feel like there's more room and there's further to go and there's more to pull out of your life and there's more out there for you, that it's not time to give up. And you're going to need all the confidence you can get to get through all that. And the great thing about life is that if you've made it to any point in your life, there's a certain amount of confidence you already inherently have. There's a braveness in you for getting up each day and getting through each day, no matter what happens. So the confidence is there. You just have to strengthen it. It's like a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it's going to get. But if you slack off and you continue to grow the muscle, it'll get weak again. Life is not a game. It can mirror a game, but it is not a game. It's not a basketball game. It's not something you can just, someone blows a whistle and then everything stops and you get to reset and try it again. There's no practice runs. You're living this is the ultimate. If it was a game, it would be the ultimate game. It would be the Super Bowl of all lives. You are living your life now. You are here now. And there is no end. The confidence you have in yourself is going to make you push through those barriers that you find yourself standing in front of. It's going to push you through those invisible anxiety ghosts that are just constantly pulling and tugging at you and screaming in your ear and reminding you of limiting beliefs, just pushing you deeper and deeper into a pool of anxiety and emotional distress. You're better than that. You don't have to stay down there. They're just anxiety ghosts, and they're here to kind of wreak havoc on you. That's their job. Even they have a purpose. We fight back with them with our own purpose. We fight back with them with our own peace, our own joy, and the confidence that we have in ourselves to know that our lives aren't to be messed with in that way. They aren't to be tampered with. Our lives are precious. They're valuable. And we get to dictate what we want out of our lives. Not any place, person, or thing. There are no anxiety ghosts that are going to come run up and push me down. I know what to do. I go inward. The external has all these things that are going to come at you every single day. We talk about this all the time. That should be a known, a given. And if you know that and you do nothing about it and you're constantly reacting instead of acting, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. You're getting behind before the race even starts. In fact, you're not even showing up for the race. You're not showing up for your own race in life. If you can take a step back and detach and look at the situation and say, what's the better scenario? I know something, I can't see it, but I know something, some place or some person is going to enter my life and it's going to hit me negatively. Do I wait or do I prepare myself for it right now by knowing who I am, by firmly standing on my values, by understanding that I am in control of my life? I can't control those people, places, or things that are going to come into my life positively or negatively, but I for damn sure can control how I act upon it. When it happens, I will not be reacting, I'll be acting, because I expect it to happen and I also don't expect it to happen as well. That's what balance is. It's one of the greatest things I learned about Tao and the Tao religion and Taoism, is that whatever will happen is going to happen regardless if you like it or not. And it won't happen regardless if you like it or not. So where does that leave you? It leaves you here now with just your existence and your presence in this world. If you can focus on who you are and do your role, your purpose, and just focus on that, grow it, build upon it every single day, you will build confidence in yourself, and that's all you need. You don't need to be confident with the place, the person, or the thing. You need to be confident with yourself. Once you reach that milestone, you start building on it. The first little inkling of confidence you get from any situation, you grab it, take it, and you run with it. You run with it. It's yours. It's your birthright. Confident is not about ego. Being confident is not about being someone who is stepping on other people. It's about you simply understanding that you're at peace with who you are, and that it's going to take a lot more than any person, place, or thing coming at you positively or negatively to affect your life in a way where you get knocked off the firm base that you've created for yourself as far as values and morals go. Because you believe in yourself, you trust in yourself, and that's all you'll ever need to be offensive and act in this life instead of playing defense and reacting. You're better than that. You are you. You are greatness. The moment you forget that, all confidence will drop and you will land in a pool of emotional distress. That's not you. You're moving forward. Your mission for today is to ask yourself honestly, and I want you to write these things down. If you have the time, write them down. Come back to it later. If you can't, do whatever it takes, but you need to see these words. Write down, am I confident? ? And put all the things in there that you are confident about. And then on a separate page, Write down all the things you can think of that you're not confident about and compare and contrast the two. Ask yourself how you can grow the stuff that you're super confident about and how you can grow into something positive out of things that you're not confident about. Be unbelievably truthful and honest with yourself about this. All the things that you know in your life, every person that you don't feel confident about, every place that you don't feel confident about, everything that you don't feel confident about, write them down. And do that in the light. All the things that you are confident about, write those things down too. It's about balance. And when you look at those two things, you can start to say, okay, well, I can work on these things one by one. While I'm working on the things I'm not so confident about, I can pick something over there and concentrate and focus on it and make it a focal point. And at the same time, I can fix something that I'm already good at, make it a focal point, and continue to grow that as well. So that's your mission. Figure out all the things that you're not confident about. Find something on there that is very impactful and powerful in your life that you feel like you want to work on, and make it a goal. Make it a focal point. Also go back and choose something that you're just great at, that you love to do, that makes you happy. Make it a focal point and continue to grow that as well. And as you look at that list, start understanding that that list is you. It's you. It's your self-confidence. Both sides of it. The good and the bad. If you can fuse those together and you work on it, self-confidence becomes something that is not scary or emotional, or overly emotional, I should say, but it's something that will fit perfectly into your purpose. This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There is still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. You do believe in yourself. You do believe you can do whatever it takes to get the job done. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You're true to yourself. Peace is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Peace is in your body. It is definitely in your soul. You are greatness. You have purpose, intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are ambitious. You are loving. You are kind, empathetic, compassionate. You are self-love. You have self-control, self-respect. You are joy, peace, freedom, happiness. You are connected to everything in this world and in this universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.